The college basketball experience coaching carousel for the power schools, power conferences episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at underdogfantasy.com with the promo code TCE-SGPN. That's our promo code. Yes. And you will get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. So hop on over there and remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is John Sally, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience. Coaching carousel recap edition. This is part one of that because this is going to be the power conferences, I should say. And don't worry, folks, we do think every other school is a power school in my mind. All right, when it comes to my fucking Long Island Sharks, they're a power school. But we're just basically basing off of to organize it what the masses, what most people think. Not us. We think the Sharks are a power school. We think a lot of other schools, every school is a power school as long as you're playing football, playing basketball. We're all on board. YouTube.com/the college experience. The college basketball season never dies here. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
All I know is we're hard-working, tax-paying people like you, and we don't take shit from nobody. You got that, asshole? Ask me. The fucking union that works for you.
Yes, we are the college experience union that works for you, killing it. Hey, I just did Hoops Peterson's podcast yesterday. Shout out to Hoops. And it's always college basketball. I know Mac's been holding it down with these a bunch of solo work. It is always college hoops season. I'm watching old games. Had Howard Isley on a fucking TV the other day. Old Boston College games. What the hell am I doing with my life, right? I love this shit. That's what I love. All right, I am joined by my co-host. You've been catching, hopefully, his solo episodes he's done there. Give it up for former video coordinator for Hall of Fame coach Bob Huggins and Frank Martin, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great. A break from the portal. The portal popped off today in hoops. I guess it's been popping off in football. Let's talk some coaches, man. This was a fun carousel.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Yeah, I just feel like a transfer portal episode is we gotta hire one of those people that do the auctions. Well, there's a 5, 10, 15 over there. We got a boycott here. There's Smith transferred over to Little Rock. The loser, big man Alexander to Iowa State. We should do that. We should see if we can hire someone that could just rattle off every name. I have an idea. I think we're going to do that. Actually, this is why we do the show. Actually, you're a part of it, folks. The chat, shout out to the chat. They're all rocking. I see Frank Corbel in there, John, Rob, Parlay Ray. Great fucking name. Shout out to Parlay Ray. But yeah, we're relaxing from the portal a little bit. Coaching. I mean, even coaching was a little crazy this year. We had to break it in 2 episodes. But I'm excited to talk. I don't know about you, but I feel like there was more coaching hires this year than last year. I guess I didn't look to compare the numbers. What do you think?
There was 53 this time around. I want to say it was a little bit more. It did not have the same bang as last year because the Calipari thing. That's not normal. I mean, you had some big ones like Williard in the middle of the NCAA tournament, aka the Sweet 16 leaving.
I've been talking to him for a month.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, like we at Maryland University, we haven't been this good in a while. It'd be nice if
You're playing Florida.
It'd be nice if you focused on basketball. Oh, you've been talking for a month? Really? You've been trading phone calls for a month? I was hoping you were breaking down the Michigan point guard situation in the Big Ten tournament, but no. Okay. But yeah, you're right. 2 years ago, you had the Cooley one. You had the shocking Ed Cooley leaving. Then, the Calipari one obviously was big. So yeah, it does seem like a little tamer, I guess, in that regard. But man, it still seems like a lot. Maybe that's just comparing it to football or something. But let's just jump right in, man. I mean, you want to address anything else besides just jumping right in? I mean, is there any more open? I don't think there's any more. What's open right now? Is there
MU and I think Lipscomb just filled. So yeah, it's just FAMU and there's FAMU.
Okay.
FAMU.
No, they didn't they.
All court.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, they hired. I'm excited about that hire actually at FAMU.
Oh yeah, Charlie Ward. What am I saying?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? You fucking. You know what? You're. We just did 3 straight shows. Cloud Brain's a thing for everybody. It's not just Dundee. Cloud Brain can get you when you least expect it. Charlie Ward, we will talk about soon. What's that?
He played football and basketball, and we're doing football and basketball. So, he can mix them up sometimes. I honestly want to see him coach. Back at Bill Parcells coached with Bob Knight at Army while he was coaching the football team as an assistant. You go but look at some of those old school coaches like Pop Warner was coaching both sports. Charlie Ward, Florida A&M needs to save money, right? Because they always say that there's money. Money's a big deal. Yep.
Why not have him coach both sports? It gets a little tricky in November, but I'm saying, come on. That's headlines right there. It's like Bo Jackson. Headlines. All right, let's get to it. Let's jump right into this. Let's start off with they say it was the best conference ever, some say, for one season. I know that 82 season in the ACC might. People are sleeping on that. They just spew out stats without looking at that. But the SEC was up there as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, depending on how you look at it. Porter Moser did not get fired, so I think we should start off with that. Were you surprised that he did not get fired?
No, because he made the NCAA tournament. He's got another year.
And they're saving that money for Venables.
Yeah.
They're saying, we might have a big buyout with Venables. Keep Porter just doing his thing.
Yeah.
But Buzz, the buzzsaw. That's my buzzsaw. Hey, he's like the goddamn Avon lady. He goes, I did my time in the SEC, did my time in the Big East, did my time in the ACC. What else? What other conferences? Oh, the Big Ten. You know what? I know I grew up in Texas. Thought I was going to retire here, but I like to change the scenery every couple years. He heads off to the Maryland Terrapins. Does the shoe fit right from the start? I mean, obviously we know Buzz, a good basketball coach. He takes all of his teams to the tournament. But does the shoe fit, do you think?
I don't know if the shoe really fits, but I didn't think the shoe fit at Virginia Tech either. And I thought he did a great job there. So I thought he was perfect at A&M, went to 3 straight NCAA tournaments, couldn't get to that second weekend. He hasn't been to the second weekend since his last year at Virginia Tech. And then Marquette, actually, he had the most March Madness success. But you know what you're getting with Buzz, 5-6 year window, probably go to 3 NCAA tournaments, win 65% of your games, finish 4th or 5th in the Big Ten. You'll just be solid, and then he'll go to another opportunity.
I'm split on this one. So I think he's way better than Kevin Williard. Now, do I think he's a guy like when can he get you to the mountaintop? I would love to see it, but I'm kind of reluctant to believe it. after seeing this many years of it. I mean, he got the Hokies to a Sweet 16 with Maryland and Under Armour money behind them. You got to think the ceiling is what, Elite Eight, Final Four? I'd say Final Four, right?
Yeah, because it's Maryland. Like Maryland's still a brand, even though they're not in the ACC. But yeah, I would agree with you. Final Four, if he can finally break through. You know, it's crazy. I feel like Buzz has been around forever. He's only 52. He seems way older just because he got that gig at Marquette when Crean left for Indiana at such a young age back in 2008. He was in his 30s.
That is pretty wild when you think about it. But yeah, I mean, so I think from Maryland, if you're like my oldest brother's a Maryland fan, I haven't had a chance to ask him this yet, but I think he's probably happy to get rid of Williard and get Buzz. But I also think he probably thought there was better out there. I don't know though. It's going to be interesting to see. But I'm going to say, if let's grade these. Grade these. I think this is a B.
Yeah,
a solid B.
It's a B in my opinion. I think he's better than Turgeon. I think he's better than Williard. I don't think it was like I wanted them to kind of get back to a Maryland guy just because that's a proud tradition and they didn't want somebody to just get up and go like Williard did. Well, they got the definition of a win enough here and then, hey, I'm out to the next opportunity. I'm going home to Texas Tech. To end
he wants the Big 12 next, and then Dwayne Simpkins or Tony Skinn will have won enough to hire them. But I think solid B. I think Maryland got better though. I mean, I know they lost their whole Crab 5, but I'm saying like, I think
NCAA tournament.
I think they got better as a program by this move. Also in the SEC, you had the Texas Longhorns. Still doesn't seem right, but
this hire's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Chris Del Conte is known. I mean, he brought in Jamie Dixon to TCU, if memory serves me correct. That might have been after him, but I think it was. He brought in Chris Beard to Texas. Didn't work out all the way there, but I mean, I'm sorry, we didn't talk about who replaced Buzz, but hang on, let's just do it right now then. Let's continue on the Texas thing. Rodney Terry's fired, right? Were you surprised that he got fired considering we just talked Porter Moser, they made the NCAA tournament?
No, I thought Terry was gone. They had way too much talent to be even on the bubble or in Dayton, and they never wanted to hire him to start with. They kind of got forced. Ironically, the game they beat Sean Miller in the Sweet 16 2 years ago when he was the interim was the game that kind of clinched it after they won the Big 12 tournament. So this time around, Sean Miller beats him in Dayton. So they split, and then Sean Miller ends up taking the Texas job. They never wanted Rodney Terry as much as they were forced to hire him because he won enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought he underachieved a little bit too. So Texas goes out, and my apologies, I got kind of sidetracked with the Buzz Williams thing. We're supposed to do that for the Big Ten, but this is the SEC. Sean Miller comes in, and they originally wanted Sean Miller, as you were saying, they finally got their guy, like the fucking John Walsh here, FBI, right? Like they finally, we got our guy, right? Sean Miller, after his second tenure at Xavier, in my opinion, I don't think he did a great job in his second tenure. I know he had that first run in his first year there, but I'm going to go ahead and say like he underachieved in Cincinnati to me, his second tenure. But is it a coaching upgrade if I'm doing the Maryland thing here?
Yeah.
He's a better basketball coach than Rodney Terry by a decent amount, I think. But do I think he's a guy? Now, Texas does have endless resources, so I have to watch what I say here because they're still the type of team, like if they want to, they can go out and really put together a national championship lineup. So it's not like you say, well, he'll never take them to the mountaintop. I don't think he will. but I can't say that with 100% certainty because Texas has more money than almost every goddamn school in the world. It's an upgrade. I'm going to say this to me. It's a B- because I think Texas. Actually, B-. I think Texas got better, so I have to give it like a decent rating, right? But I also think they're with the type of money they have, they should have a more elite basketball coach. So in that regard, I'm going to say B-. What do you say here?
Yeah, I kind of think they're perfect for one another. Sean Miller, he's a pretty good coach. He's okay. He's known for not winning the big game at Arizona. He had countless times where they were a 1 or 2 seed and they came up short. A lot of the time they were in the West region. They had the crowd. And that's what Texas has always been. Come up short, choke in the big game like they did against Miami a couple of years ago with that 18-point lead in the second half. So I kind of think that he's going to be a perfect fit there in terms of they're going to be good. They're going to win, 22, 23, 24, 25 games, be a 4 or 5 seed year in and year out, maybe a 3 seed, 2 seed if they're on a special year, and probably losing the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. So, yeah, they upgraded from Terry. They'll be getting probably to the second weekend. But I don't think they're going to get to a Final Four with Sean Miller.
I don't think so either, but it's always on the table just because it's Texas with the roster they could build. But
yeah,
I just think like with you're the University of Texas, you should be able to bring in.
I thought they could have done better. That's why I'm giving it C+. It's an upgrade from Terry, but I thought they could have got a better basketball coach in Sean Miller.
Well, I was gonna give it a C+, but then I thought, well, they got better. He's better than Terry, so I guess I can't give it such a.
Yeah.
That was my logic, but I'm saying, I think we're on the same page regardless.
The other thing, he was cheating at Arizona when most people weren't, so his teams were a lot better at Arizona during that age. So, I mean, yeah, he's okay. Thought Texas could have done better, but it's an upgrade from Terry. There you go, horns down.
There we go. Then we have Bucky McMillan, who was hired after the buzzsaw scattered to College Park, Maryland. Bucky McMillan was hired. This one I did not have on my radar.
Yeah,
I mean, he's done a great job at Samford. I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying when I thought A&M opened, I was like, oh, this is one because they have a ton of money, just like Texas. I thought, wow, I wonder what they do coach wise. Right. I think this could be a tricky, thing. They could be able to pluck. I think we even talked about it on an episode where I was like, could they steal a Mick Cronin? Could they steal? And they go with Bucky McMillan, who was fantastic at Samford, 99 and 52, made it to the tournament once, but put together 4 winning seasons in 5 years. They'll have money. So, I mean, but do I think they got better? I don't. I'm kind of fascinated by it though, because obviously, he's a good coach. So it's like Buzz, I'll put it like this. Buzz had more of a ceiling where Bucky doesn't have that ceiling, but I think I trust Buzz's consistency more than I do with Bucky. How about you?
See, I think I'm the other way. I think Bucky may have a higher ceiling because he plays.
No, that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Bucky could go further.
Yeah.
But I don't know if each year they're going to be consistently good like Buzz was.
Agreed. And I think that speaks to the style that they play. They're going to play that press for 40 minutes, most chaotic 40 minutes in college basketball. And the most recent team to do that at the high major level was West Virginia, press Virginia with hugs. So if he can use that money and go buy 10, 11 athletes and just keep throwing body after body after body after you, this could be something. Worth noting, he did win 20-plus games 4 straight years at Samford, so it wasn't like he was a one-hit wonder. He won 2 regular season titles there, and Samford had not been winning before he got there. I'm going to give this one a B. I like the outside-the-box thought here with maybe a chance to really hit a home run here if they can really recruit and get athletes. Because I like the potential ceiling on this Bucky Ball hire. I'm with you though. I did not see this coming.
This was completely out of left field. Trev Alberts. No, I'm gonna go back to B- though. I'm gonna go back to B- just because you're A&M. You have fuck you money. I'm not, and I don't even think he's a bad basketball coach. I just think A&M is not historically a good basketball school, but you just have the money now. It doesn't matter about history, so that to me, like, you could hire almost anybody, but they did. I mean, they just took one at a little bit of left field. Do I think the guy can coach? I do. So, yeah, B- for me. That's it for the SEC, right? We're not forgetting anybody, right? I'm pretty sure that's everybody. Let's jump to the Big Ten and finish because we talked buzzsaw to Maryland. Your boy, Darian DeVries. He's gone. Morgantown for a year, like so many others. Morgantown for 1 year, and then the burning couches, the alcohol, the nose beers get you. And then I got to get the fuck out of this town. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to live anymore. Well, he's off to Bloomington after 19 wins, I think they had this year.
NCAA tournament. We're giving him a tournament. That was ridiculous.
That was. Buddy, I actually like this one though. I know, I'm curious your take on this because you were obviously so much closer to the program, but I think Indiana might have actually got a guy that actually can go far in NCAA tournament. It's been since Mike Davis, which is ironic, but I'm going to go ahead and say, considering they had Mike Woodson, I'm giving out my first A of the coaching cycle. Your thoughts here?
Yeah, the Mountaineer fans will get pissed at me for giving it an A, but I actually think this is exactly what Indiana needed. They needed a ball coach, not all this bullshit. We got to get an Indiana guy and all the flash and all that other stuff that just has not worked over the last decade plus. I think DeVries is a really good basketball coach. He's a different dude. He's a little weird. But I mean, he came into Morgantown. We were 8-23 the year before he got there. Went 19-13 last year. It should be noted he didn't have his son for 30 or 25 games, and you could dig on why he didn't play. That's the song or conversation for a different time. Maybe he thought he was getting this Indiana gig and he wanted him for his first year here. But West Virginia was not good roster-wise last year, and he still managed to win almost 20. The only thing he has not done is win an NCAA tournament game. That's the only thing. He won the game in the bubble the 1 year, but consistently he won 20 games every single year at Drake. Then last year he almost won 20 at West Virginia in the Big 12. I think Indiana finally just said, we're going to get the best coach, not the biggest and sexy brand name. And I'll give it an A, man. I think Indiana got this right to get them back where they should be and just a solid basketball program. And I like what they've done in the portal so far too.
100%. We both agree eye to eye. We've agreed fairly accurately on almost every one as far as like similar. I mean, I know you had a C+ for one, but I'm saying I think we all kind of thought the same so far. Want to talk about more. I mean, the Big Ten I think did a solid job this year, but before I do that, I want to let you know that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Edge Boost. You ever had your deposit blocked by the bank right before a big bet, or perhaps ever needed cash at 2 a.m. for another shot at the tables, but you hit your ATM limit? Bastards. Well, don't worry. Those days are over because Edge Boost has your back. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors. Edge Boost gives you fast, reliable access to your funds, making it easier to move money wherever you need it or whenever you need it, without the delays that come with traditional banks. And for you high rollers, you can move up to $250,000 a day on your Edge Boost Visa debit card with unlimited withdrawals. This works 24/7 for instant deposits. Never wait for a wire to clear ever again. And it gets better. Also, every time you deposit into a qualified gambling account, you can earn cashback rewards up to 5% there. All this for no usage fees and no minimum balance, no credit checks. It's just simply verify your identity and boom, you're ready to go. So check out Edge Boost, www.edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're going to help you there. Once again, that's www.edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. We've been killing it in college hoops with mybookie.ag. Now we're transitioning, playing every day. It's that time of year, MLB, college baseball. Check out the college baseball experience, but also everything else, UFL, CFL, NFL. I'm doing NFL draft props. I'm doing everything. We're just MMA, the Masters. Got all that stuff going on. So MyBookie's fantastic for that. Plus, they have props for every game. And they accept customers from a ton of different locations, even outside of the States. They got easy deposits, lightning fast payouts using crypto. So what are you doing? Head on over to mybookie.ag. Use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Once again, terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. Shout out to Frank Corbel giving us $50, man. Love this off-season love, man. Appreciate you, Frank, man. And really, really appreciate everyone tuning in. We love this stuff, and you guys are a big part of it. So we are grateful once again. You can be a part of the chat if you're listening to this on the audio side. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Jump on over there. I think the Big Ten did a great job when you think about it. Mac, you got Buzz. I think Maryland got better, right?
Yes.
I think Indiana just substantially got better. And then what about the Iowa Hawkeyes? I think they got better because Fran McCaffrey, a great run, but he's gone. They go out and get Ben McCollum, who just had the best season in Drake basketball history since, I don't know, for a long time. This is an A to me. First off, he's from Iowa City.
Yeah.
I mean, the shoe fucking fits. The shoe fits like right away. I know it was one and done at Drake, and you're like, damn, if you're a Drake fan, but this is a slam dunk to me. This actually this is A+ for me. Yeah. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, people could say it was one and done at Drake and maybe a one-hit wonder, but I disagree. I mean, how about the 15 years at Northwest Missouri State where he won 82% of his games and won 4 national championships? He just validated it at Drake when he brought his whole team up and they beat Missouri in the tournament. A historical year, 31-4, like I said, won a tournament game, won the Valley. This is an A+, whatever grade you. This is as good a hire on the Carousel as it gets because of the fit. Iowa fans, and you're getting the Drake team now. So they were at Northwest Missouri State. Now that they were at Drake, now they're in Iowa City. So yeah, from D2 to the Big Ten here in 2 years. I'm with you, man. I think the Big Ten did really good on the hires.
Yeah, this is an A+ to me, and I mean, they got better too to me. Like,
and he's an Iowa guy. That means something.
That's what I'm saying. And same with the next one, man. Niko Medved goes to Minnesota. Ben Johnson era is over. I thought that this year was Niko Medved's best coaching year of his career. Now the other, he did a good job everywhere he's been, but I did not. I remember early on, I think it was in November, I texted you, man. I was like, I'm on the auto fade on Colorado State. It was like the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. I was like, man, this team, I watched them, I think like 3 games in a row. They were in that tournament in Palm Springs too. And I was like, man, they're fucking horrible. I love seeing what a coach can do in that calendar year, because, oh my God, the way they looked in November compared to when they looked in the rest, like once the calendar year turned, oh my God. I think there's another one where he's from, didn't he go to the University of Minnesota?
Yeah, 97. He's another guy that's got a lot of pride in this place. I think the barn's going to be rocking again.
I mean, I think this is, I won't give it an A+, I'll give it an A. But it's very similar to the McCollum thing, and you could argue that he's more proven at the D1 basketball level than McCollum. So maybe I should give it an A+. I mean, the guy can coach, man. Like, that was very impressive this past year, and it's not just a 1-year thing. We've seen him do it before at multiple places. So I think the Big Ten had to me that's the biggest storyline is like the Big Ten kind of destroyed it when it came to coaching this year. Your thoughts?
Yeah, to further your point, they lost Isaiah Stevens, who kind of was like their backbone of their program, and then Nick Clifford steps up. He's an NBA player now. 4 out of the last 5 years, they won 20+ games. 3 out of
Tanjay bounced.
Yes, Tanjay too.
Yeah.
3 out of the last for Wisconsin. 3 out of the last 4, they won 25+ NCAA tournaments. I'm giving this an A, man. I mean, you could have this. I know it was like rumored to be done for 9 months, but yeah, they hit a home run. I think Minnesota is going to be really happy with this hire. So shout out to you, Gopher fans. We need to get that barn rocking again, baby.
Yeah, unbelievable to me. Like Big Ten, it really did a great job. You add that to the Dusty May hire and stuff. Yeah, you're starting to see that. It's easy to see a tide turn, they say. Let's talk Big East. I think there was only no, there was 2 in the Big East.
There are 2 big ones.
How did I almost say that? Villanova, team that's won some chips in their day. Kyle Neptune's gone. He's out of there. Didn't work out for him, unfortunately. But this surprised me. I'm gonna be honest. This still surprised me. Kevin Williard of Maryland, who we talked about earlier, ends up at Villanova. Is this an upgrade from Kyle Neptune? I have to say yes.
Yes.
But I'm not a big Kevin Williard fan. It's an upgrade, but this is where I will give the first C. And I guess I should say, well, why Dundee, why would you say that? They got better, just like you said with Sean Miller. But to me, Sean Miller, I'll put it like this. Villanova's program, I think, is in higher regard than Texas's. So I think they could go out and get anybody. And to end up with Kevin Williard, there's more disappointment to me. So I'm going to give this one a C. Your thoughts?
I'm giving it a B. I'm not the biggest Kevin Williard fan, but he does find ways to win to a certain degree. I mean, he went to 5 out of 6 NCAA tournaments at Seton Hall at the end of his tenure.
And his best team was the COVID year. So maybe he made a deep run that year. You never know.
Yeah,
right?
he hasn't had the run. Like, they're always around that 22-23 win mark. Last year was his best year at Maryland. And then
is he a better coach than Sean Miller, though? I don't think so.
Probably not, but they're kind of similar in terms
There
of
are similarities. There are similarities, I would say.
Yeah, he's a Pitino guy, Williard. The thing I do like about Williard is he had his most success in the Big East. I think going to 5 out of 6 NCAA tournaments at Seton Hall is impressive, to be honest. I was underwhelmed a little bit at Maryland. I know he went to the Sweet 16 this last year, but his team is loaded.
And they traveled to get there.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a B. Seton Hall always fucked with Villanova when Jay Wright was there. So I think that also has a lot to do with why Kevin Williard was Jay Wright's kind of guy for the job. Definitely an upgrade from Kyle Neptune. So give me a B on Williard. He does enough. They'll win like 22 games each year.
But you're Villanova. You've won national championships with or without Jay Wright. That's why I'm like, man, you should have got a better coach. You've had this plan. You knew you almost fired Neptune last year. You had a year to put this shit together. And you end up with Kevin Williard. That's why I'm giving it a C.
He's only 50. So maybe he starts winning some games on the back end. We've seen some guys get over the hump later in their careers. He's just a weird guy, Williard. He's just a weird guy.
I don't think he's a great coach, man, especially like in-game adjustments. I'm not there yet, but hey, that's the best part about sports is,
Yeah, I wasn't there with Golden either. And he won.
Exactly.
And Hurley. I wasn't a big Hurley guy 4 or 5 years
Well,
ago.
Hurley did such a good job at Rhode Island. I thought it was possible. I didn't think he would dominate 2 years in a row, though. So yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the best part about sports, the unknown, and then they can shut us up for being idiots, and sometimes we can shut them up for being smart idiots.
Yeah.
All right. Look, we're gonna talk about. Actually, we got one more in the Big East, and that was we saw Sean Miller. He's gone. Now we have two Patinos in one conference. The drama is there. Richard Pitino coming over from New Mexico to Xavier, the Musketeers. This was one of the hardest ones to grade for me.
Yeah.
And the logic was this. Pitino, I thought at Minnesota, obviously he got a long leash. Didn't work out. Now, injuries were some of it, close losses. They blew big leads. New Mexico, he did revive. But also, I've always thought New Mexico was a stick of dynamite that just needs a match because that home environment's elite. And I think they care about college basketball more than most schools in the Mountain West. Is he a better basketball coach than Sean Miller? I don't know that I can get there. But is the potential? Sure. C+.
I'll give out my lowest one. I'll give it a C. Like, I don't know how good a coach Richard Pitino is. I like Richard Pitino. I'm pulling for him because I like Rick Pitino. I just think New Mexico is one of the better jobs in the Mountain West. Yeah, he finally won it this last year, but before that, he never finished above 6.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. But at the same point to your point, he's only 42 years old. He's still young in his career, and he's growing as a coach. But right now, I got to give it a C. I thought it was kind of just a big brand name hire. I kind of wanted to see it another year from Richard. I'll give it a C. I'm pulling for him, though.
I gave it a C+.
Yeah.
Better than the Willard hire, though.
You just gave it a C+ because his dad's Rick Pitino.
And I'm looking forward to that drama.
Yeah. Why do you think his dad fought so hard for him to get that Xavier job and get him in the league? He's going to get to play 2 to 3 times a year. That's 2 to 3 wins.
TV ratings. Ratings.
And the old man's going to win 2 to 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, I could they have gotten a better head coach? Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. All right. Before we go to the Big 12, I want to tell the folks out there that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. I love playing all their games there. The stat projections, the higher lowers for college hoops. We killed it doing it with UFL. Every weekend, doing it with some of the MLB stuff they're offering. Every single sport they offer. I truly believe, and I'm not saying this because they're our sponsor. Like I think that like I would be playing this even without them being our sponsor, because I think there's an edge you can find that you can't find elsewhere. So check it out, folks. I highly recommend that. Underdogfantasy.com, and make sure you use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props, and Rhythm is now live for they dropped their models for MLB, Major League Baseball. Plus, they got models for NBA and golf. I know we were using some of the models with college hoops, and those are always fun. I mean, picks so good it feels like cheating, they say. And one of the things I like is building my own model. I don't like to follow everybody, but I like to build my own model, and they offer that. And you can take things that they've done that you liked, that you didn't like, or how you see the game or how you see it, and build your own. It's really cool. Rhythm has some amazing deals going on as well. 25% off the monthly subscription with the promo code SGPN25 and 50% off the annual subscription with the promo code SGPN50. That's Rhythm. That's RITHMM. Promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. All right. We are back on the college basketball experience. A few more left here as we jump over to the Big 12. It's the Big 12. Boss Hog, aka Ross Hodge. This a guy that's paid the dues, man, From Texas A&M Commerce to Paris Junior College to Midland to Southern Miss to Colorado State to Arkansas State to North Texas. I mean, he's a Larry Stacey guy, and he obviously was with Grant McCaslin at Arkansas State. I am gonna let you have the floor on this because I want to hear what you say first. Like, how well do you like this hire? I mean, obviously the guy's been a head coach both years. He took over a nice North Texas program, but he kind of continued what they were doing before, which was making the NIT, and made it both years, knocking on the door of the NCAA tournament. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so he won 90% of his games at the JUCO level. So that's another worth noting. So he's grinded, like you said. He's had a lot of similarities to Grant McCaslin, and he took over the JUCO stops. And McCaslin's joke is that he won at a higher clip than McCaslin. Yeah, but McCaslin did set the stage nice for Hodge. I'm gonna give it a B, man. I think I wanted to see one more year out of Hodge at North Texas. I wanted to see him get to an NCAA tournament or win a regular season title. But at the same time, I think he's going to be a pretty damn good coach. And I think Wren pulled the trigger on potential here and what Hodge will become. So I think the fit for Morgantown and West Virginia is good. I mean, we're a defensive program. He's an elite defensive coach. I think it's a good fit, and I'll give it a B. I think it's a solid hire, and I think he's going to do a good job.
See, here's the thing, and I think I agree with most of what you said there. But did you improve at head coach? Do you think
he's not as experienced as DeVries? But I can't say that we improved head coach. Just
that's what I struggled with there, and that's why I gave it a C+. Now it still might, I still think the shoe could fit here. I think this could work. But I also think you got to look and say, did you improve your basketball program with your head coach? And I don't think they did. So that was the only reason why I gave him a C+. Doesn't mean you still can't win a bunch of games, make the NCAA tournament, stuff like that. But I mean, what are you going to do? That was a tough hand to be dealt. Have a coach come in one and done. We just talked college football experience with Bronco Mendenhall at New Mexico for 1 year that he bounces to Utah State. It's a tough hand to be dealt to those universities when you invest in one guy and you only get him for a year. So yeah, I would say C+, maybe B-. You could talk me into, because I think he's a good basketball coach, but he's got to prove it. I wish I had a bigger sample size.
1 year more in North Texas, it would have been a slam dunk. But if it had been another year, he might have got that Texas A&M job.
Oh, very, very true.
Yeah, he's a Texas guy, so maybe they stole him here.
And then we have the Utah Utes. This one. Craig Smith, who still hasn't been hired, right? I don't think I've seen him. He hasn't gotten hired yet, huh?
No, he may sit out a year.
Well, Alex Jensen is the new head coach. They fired Craig Smith, and Alex played at Utah. I think that was the strong connection there. Was an assistant with the St. Louis Billikens in the Majerus years, I think. And that's his only time in college. Yeah, in the Majerus years, I think he was an assistant. Just double checked it.
And he obviously played for Majerus too.
Well, I understand wanting to go back to that era because Rick Majerus got Utah to the fucking national championship. But however, he's been in the NBA for the past decade. And I just am always weary of the NBA coaches stepping down to college, just like I am in football. Like it's not everyone's Pete Carroll. For every Pete Carroll, there's, Lovie Smith and a slew of other ones that you can go and check out. But sell me on why this could be a good hire. Just the Majerus connection to relive those glory days.
Well, I think you look at BYU. Can they duplicate what BYU's done? They doubled and
do they have a billionaire alum that
that's the problem with we're going to be BYU is do you have the Benjis that BYU has? Do you have the funds? Because that BYU roster wasn't free, and BYU from a talent standpoint was able to lure talent in. Yeah, Kevin Young did a great job getting better throughout the year because they were dog shit early in the year, and we were killing them. We're like, this is the softest team ever. But then he made adjustments, put Cade in the lineup, Mag, and then they got tougher. I'm interested to see if Jensen can make those adjustments because it's every NBA guy, it takes usually at least a year. And is he going to have the talent that they're going to have that BYU had last year? I don't think so. So, yeah, they've doubled the salaries, tripled the NIL. But that's still half of what BYU's putting into their NIL. So I'll give a C-. I'm
going to give it a D because he hasn't been in a college game in a while. And I asked myself this question, is he a better basketball coach than Craig Smith? And I don't think he is. So I think your program got worse. I could look like a fool in this one because Majerus was a very good coach. And if he can pull out some of that Majerus magic, maybe it works. But I just think the way they dealt Craig Smith, I think Craig Smith had it on the right track. I think he was 1 year away from being maybe a team that could sniff the tournament.
They just get too cute with these, like, oh, it worked one time at BYU, and now it's going to work all the time. You know what? I'm downgrading. I'm going D+.
There we go.
The more and more I think about it, like BYU is the first one that it's actually worked. And BYU is an outlier because of the Mormons element.
Yeah. And well, BYU also has Danny Ainge working for them.
Yeah.
Like Danny Ainge, right, he knows. So, I mean, it's possible that there are NBA guys that can do this, just like there are Pete Carrolls for the NFL, or that came down from NFL to college football and killed it. But you have to know, like, you have to be able to find that. You can't just go, well, he's an NBA guy, let's hire him. And I think having Danny Ainge, a guy that's very familiar with both, really helps. So let's transition to the ACC here.
and we should know, this has been a narrative of ours for 2 years now to fucking hire hire some guys that can turn around this league. So I'm looking forward to talking about the ACC because I think they hit a couple good ones here.
Yeah, let's start off with Jai Lucas going to Miami following Jimmy Larinaga. See, I think part of why we knocked the ACC was they made some bad coaching hires over the years that got him in this predicament as like at once the most prestigious basketball conference. And now, they had its worst year ever. I think last year, I think that's okay to say that. Well, a lot of it was that. I also think they were long in the tooth as far as like college athletics and college, it's just changed so much in the past 5-10 years. Jimmy Larinaga did not fit the current model of sports, even though he just took Miami to the Final Four, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Leonard Hamilton, I don't think really fit that model. Yeah. Those two in general are now gone. There's still, some question marks with some other hires. I don't know if Capel is the answer at Pitt. I don't think Stoudemire's the answer at Georgia Tech, but Jai Lucas comes into Miami after being on Duke's staff for the past 3 years. Before that, he was at Kentucky. Before that, he was at Texas.
Yeah.
With Rick Barnes, I think. Was it? Or Shaka? Was Shaka or Barnes? Shaka. I think it was Shaka, right?
Yeah. Shaka. Yeah.
This is I think one of the harder ones to grade because I know you went to Jimmy Larinaga's basketball camp. I'm a huge fan, but I also think the game had outgrown him. So I think in a way like this is refreshing to have new life in there. We've never seen him as a head coach though, and I think if I was a Miami fan, you'd want to get a sitting head coach as just an assistant at Duke. I'm going to grade this a C+. I mean, he was with Barnes and Shaka Smart, by the way. So his coaching tree is
he played
Barnes. Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, he played.
No, but he was an assistant. I'm seeing for 1 year.
Yeah, and he played for Billy Donovan too. He
I mean, he was with Coach K. What 1 year? 22.
Yeah, and his old man is
John Lucas, the former Spurs coach.
Yeah.
I mean, the lineage is fucking there, but it's just tricky because you've seen for every one of these, there's, we could say, well, Tommy Amaker, what did he do at Michigan? What did Johnny Dawkins do at Stanford? There's a big. I think it could work though. I think it could work because Miami has money, and I think he fits more in this day and age than Larrañaga. But is he a better basketball coach than Larrañaga? No. And that's why I'm going C to C+. What are you doing here?
I'm with you, man. This is a wild card. Got the good pedigree, good coaches that he worked for. Should be great with the NIL. Should be great in the portal era. I would imagine that they're trying to become like a Dookie Kentucky down there at Miami with all this money. But he still never called a ball play. I got to give it a C. I can see why they went this route, kind of a outside the box hire. Everything I said about Bucky earlier, but Bucky's won over 100 games and been to an NCAA tournament in the SoCon. Jai's never called a play. I'll give
that resume is pretty fire though.
He's got good coaches around him. He's got great mentors, but it's different when you're sitting in the chair though. So I'll give it a C. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I mean, I just think as far as X's and O's and stuff, and just Larrañaga is a guy I trusted to get your team better through the season. Now, obviously, the past 2 years have been a disaster.
Yeah.
But he did get them to a fucking Final Four the year prior to that. And if you're telling me right now, are you going to be able to get to the Final Four? I don't know that. I don't know that that's in the cards. I am intrigued by it though. I think this is one that I could be really wrong on.
Yeah. I mean, if he ends up being a young and up and coming coach, and then Miami hit a home run here, and he may stay down there for a while if he gets it going. He may be like, I love South Beach.
Yeah, and then Ryan Odom goes to Virginia. His dad, Dave Odom, coached at Virginia for a long time. Then he went off to Wake Forest as a head coach. So ACC lineage in the Odom family. Ryan Odom was at Utah State. Then he first he was at UMBC. Then he was at Utah State. Then he was at VCU. And he was great at all three stops, really. I mean, this is the epitome of slam dunk to me, just because
the fit.
Yeah. I think this is an A to me. I'm not going to go A+. I'm going to go A. It just fits. It just fits the lineage, everything. It just fits. And I do think he's a really good basketball coach. So give me an A for Ryan Odom to Virginia. How about you?
Oh, I love this hire. Yeah. This was like the most obvious hire for a year. Great at VCU, great at Utah State, UMBC. Yeah. He was the coach of the 16 seed that beat Virginia, ironically. And then his old man coaching at Virginia. I mean, his press conference, he threw on the blazer. He threw on the khakis. I go, oh, he's right at home. He looks like all those other guys at Charlottesville. I give it an A. I think they hit a home run, and I think it's a new era in college basketball, new era in Charlottesville. He's only 50. This could be a Tony Bennett-like hire in terms of I could see him being there 10 plus years.
I could too.
Yeah, he grew up there. He went to Hampton, Sydney, right down the road. And then he talked about it, like all the spots coming back into town. He grew up there. I think Virginia fans are ecstatic, and they have NIL. Tony Bennett just didn't elect to use it.
Fantastic.
Tony being Tony.
It's like Izzo. Oh, fuck these kids. Goddamn.
Hey, they both got a fucking daddy, man. Yeah, hey,
it's true.
Legends.
Yeah, Tony Bennett needed everything for that natty. He pulled out all the stops, but he got it. And I like Tony Bennett a lot. But Yeah, today. And then you got the Pussy Pack. I was frankly a little shocked here.
This is an A+, and you know it.
Now he's a great basketball coach, but there's something about being pussy at NC State that I'm afraid that Will Wade has got his blinders on. Coaching the Pussy Pack after 1 year, 2 years, you're gonna see this thing start to really take effect on him. Is he a better coach than Kevin Keats? 1,000%. But there's something about NC State that the what does he say in Kingpin? To be up a creek without, or to be up the creek without a paddle, right? To be you have the whole world in the palm of your hands and blow it. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. Give me a B.
Oh God, this is the best. This is the best fucking hire on the cycle. It's an A+. This is exactly what NC State needed. He goes in there and he goes, "We're not finishing second to Duke and Carolina anymore. This is not."
It is. I will agree there. Like the culture shift too.
Yes. He goes, "This isn't a rebuild. This is a reload. This is NC State. This is a proud basketball program. We just went to the Final Four a couple of years ago, and they didn't capitalize off it." Will Wade, they're going to sell that. They're going to sell that arena out, and there's going to be a different energy at NC State. And I know you hate NC State, but college basketball is better when NC State's relevant. To have the triangle,
They have a good fan base.
Yeah, great.
They have a good fan base. They just have a pussy administration that stops scheduling East Carolina when we storm the court or storm the field on your little bullshit venue that you got there. Even though I like Carter Finley. No, I mean, look, here's my problem.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. He'll probably take him to the tournament next year. He'll probably take him to the tournament the year after. But then he's going to bounce.
He should.
Before they ever win anything. He will be the next coach at I don't know, Texas or something. I don't know.
Texas should have hired.
I agree. But yeah, I'm a little hurt by Will. I wish he would have called me first. I would have been like, dude, this is bad PR for your life. You know what I mean? This is like step it and stink. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna follow you forever and ever. No, but I think it's a really good hire. It is an A. But I'm going to give it a B because I believe this hurts your resume. Being at NC State hurts your resume. It hurts your grandkids will feel the effect of that decision. So, no, but it's a very good hire. But how about that? That caps us off. We're done. And I'm going to say this: best hire.
We left one.
Who did I forget? Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Loucks.
Yeah. Why didn't they hire Charlie Ward? I'm just wondering.
Loucks. Oh. I mean, everybody thinks they're BYU now. He was with the Kings. The Kings sucked this last year. D.
100%, man.
I know he played.
They should have got Will Wade. Will Wade would have fit there.
Oh, this is, dude. It's just the worst thing that happened was BYU being good with Kevin Young right away. Because now all of a sudden, teams like Florida State and Utah think they can just duplicate what BYU did. You don't have the same budget that they have.
Yeah. Not a big fan of the hire. D.
No.
D.
Yeah.
Okay, what I was about to say, I think you kind of already answered this. Best hire of the bunch. I think it's McCollum at Iowa.
It's a good one.
And I'll be honest, I thought about DeVries at Indiana. I know Wade should be mentioned up there, but not for me. That ain't coming out of my fucking mouth. All right. So I have McCollum going to Iowa as my favorite hire of the offseason.
Mine's Will Wade. I'm also biased because Will Wade's been on the show, and I love Will Wade. I think he was doing NIL before NIL was a thing, baby. So I think it's a culture shift. And you know what, man? I've been overly critical of the ACC. Maybe they heard me. They have hit home runs, I think, in my opinion, the last 2 cycles. Pat Kelsey at Louisville, he's got that thing flipped. They're going to be a preseason top 10, 15 team. I think Will Wade's going to go in there, and they're going to be an NCAA tournament team. And I think
at Syracuse?
Yeah, seriously. Syracuse, wake up, North Carolina. And then I think Ryan Odom is a home run at Virginia. So I will be positive on the ACC probably next year. And I want Pitt to extend Capel for the next 20 years. So, yeah, let's go.
There we go.
All I know is we're hard-working, tax-paying people like you, and we don't take shit from nobody. You got that, asshole? Ask me. The fucking union that works for you.
Those are our coaching hires. We're going to do another one in the next week or so with all of the mid-majors. Yep. So just address the power schools or what people know the power schools to be. Yeah, can't wait. Love talking this, love exercising this, thinking about this, going to sleep. My wife's got some bullshit TV show on and I'm just sitting there thinking, Will Wade, pussy pack, damn it. Stuff like that. So
you're like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Else.
Are you watching this White Lotus episode? No, I'm not. Anyway, folks, we'll be back. We're just getting started. We talk college basketball year round here, but also check out college football. We dropped 5 episodes this week, college football experience, FCS college football experience. And don't forget the college baseball experience, being it, killing it there, the road to Omaha. We're just getting started in the college experience. You don't unsubscribe. Don't do any of that shit. You're only going to want to tell more people about us. YouTube.com/the college experience. Hit that like and subscribe button, please, if you can. Whatever podcast platform, iTunes, Spotify. Click subscribe if you can. Give us 5 stars on the iTunes or Spotify, whatever the hell. We're grateful. Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Check out his other show, Ride and Rush Show. The West Virginia fans, or maybe the enemy. Maybe the enemy wants to know what's going on there. I'm on Twitter at Colby Dant. The college basketball experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Appreciate everybody in the chat. I love talking ball here. Love talking ball. So look forward to the next time seeing everyone there. Till next time. This is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Yeah, it's got me thinking about the good shit the minute that I seen you grill again. It made me good trip, good dog the mind back like dog but wind that. Man, I didn't get mad when you near me hit me can back, but the comings on was strong. Now my shit's coming along, you know the song. The truth is I'm pretty much on 5 again. It's heating up for real, I'm alive again. And that's the attraction factor. Vancouver, Michigan with my rap disaster. Yeah, you know you want it how you want it. No need to trip cause I got it, doggone it. It's all yours and the extras too. All the super music and the sex for hope. Just get it straight cause he caught me in a good mood. Let me